afternoon. Today, it is my pleasure to honor this year's Cornerstone recipient, Jeff and Cindy Lobach, and publicly thank our supporters and the Lobachs for their continued mission to the York County during this very challenging time. This year's Cornerstone is our 18th year of celebrating the giving spirit of the York County and recognizing individuals, families, and couples who have demonstrated outstanding commitment to the community we all love. Although COVID-19 has kept us from gathering together, we still gather together in spirit. As you know, the Cornerstone Dinner provides an opportunity for the community to learn about SpiriTrust Lutheran and how their gifts have helped those in our community. This year's support was needed more than ever, and again, the community came through. I am pleased to report that many of our dinner sponsors continue to maintain their gifts, and we raised over $195,000 in this year's event. The Cornerstone, again, helps so many people in our community to be the best that they can be. Your gifts helped serve over 7,200 low-income individuals through tax preparation and provided over 3,400 community tax returns to be done, saving over $625,000 in tax preparation fees and allowing $6.25 million to be brought back into our community in the form of federal refunds. Also, through the Domestic Abuse Solutions Program, we are helping people learn to live in a nonviolent lifestyle, one that during these difficult times is becoming more and more prevalent as families are isolated from friends and co-workers. Your impact makes a critical difference. Your investment in our work is humbling, and I am personally grateful. Thank you, and God bless you for all you do for support of SpiriTrust Lutheran. Now it is my pleasure to turn the program over to Larry Young, the chairman of the board of SpiriTrust Lutheran, to tell you about this year's recipients, Cindy and Jeff Lobach. Larry?
Thank you, Bob, for that introduction. My name is Larry Young, and it is my real privilege and honor to present the SpiriTrust Lutheran Board of Directors Cornerstone Award to Jeff and Cindy Lobach, especially because I've known Jeff and Cindy for decades. I've done work with Jeff locally, and frankly, as I look at some of the things they've done to garner this award, I didn't even know about all that they were doing. Jeff and Cindy are deeply involved in volunteerism and philanthropy, not just locally in York, but really across the globe. They've made 9 missions to the Amazon rainforests of Peru, building homes, schools, doing medical work. Truly amazing as I talked to Jeff and learned about the work that they had been doing. Closer to home, Jeff and Cindy have both volunteered with the Boy Scouts, with WellSpan Health, First Presbyterian Church of York, youth sports, and other various charities. Jeff co-founded the Pennsylvania Immigration Resource Center, which evolved from a 4-year court battle over the fate of 154 Chinese asylum seekers. It was my privilege to work on one of those cases where Jeff had gotten everything organized. Jeff takes great pride in his leadership of the York County Community Foundation, WellSpan Health, the Boy Scouts, the York County Bar Association and Foundation, where Jeff and I have worked together, and other organizations whose boards he has chaired. Cindy's motto, which is awesome, is everyone has different gifts to offer, and showcased through her York with the VNA, Access York, and various family genealogical studies which she performs for nonprofit organizations. Jeff and Cindy are committed to York County, and frankly to a ministry that speaks so well of their involvement. We are delighted to honor Jeff and Cindy with this award for their remarkable contributions to our community. So, Bob, if you're going to come back and make the formal presentation.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you, Jeff.
Jeff, on behalf of SpiriTrust Lutheran, I present to you and your wife the 2020 Cornerstone Dinner Award. Thank you for all you do in our community.
Thank you. Cindy and I are both honored and humbled to be recognized by SpiriTrust Lutheran with the Cornerstone Award. We're great admirers of the fine work of this organization and are proud to be associated with it. Those who have preceded us as recipients have set a very high bar of achievement, which we frankly don't think that we have yet attained. We thank you again for bestowing this honor on us. We look forward every year to the annual Cornerstone Dinner, and we're disappointed when this event, along with so many others, became a casualty of the current pandemic. If we had had the opportunity to address the group that evening, our expression of gratitude would have been followed by the observation of how fortunate we have been to be able to do volunteer work on 3 continents, and how lucky we are to be in a community where opportunities to help are so abundant and so accessible. We can give money or time. Monetary gifts are certainly necessary to continue the important charitable work that goes on in our community, but perhaps more personally affirming and often more effective are the giving of one's own time and talents, whether through board service or actually performing work which advances our neighbors, protects the environment, preserves our history, rescues animals, assists the elderly, the infirm, the lonely, or relieves suffering. In a community like ours, the needs are great and the opportunities vast. A diverse cast of nonprofit organizations needs our involvement, and other causes cry out for creative solutions. Small acts can be quite profound. For about 20 years, we've been involved with the Ribereños, the villagers along the Amazon tributaries in the Peruvian rainforest, far from any electricity or roads. These people need educational supplies and medicine, but they can have a good, self-sustaining life with just a little assistance. A very simple example. When a successful fisherman on these rivers reaches his 40s and begins to become farsighted, he can no longer thread his hook, and he becomes almost helpless. Delivery to him of reading glasses donated or purchased for a few dollars at a discount store in the States can mean the difference between his self-sufficiency and dependence for the rest of his life. You do not need to travel thousands of miles to have this kind of impact. Right here in our community, we have all kinds of challenges with food insecurity, social justice, workforce training, mental health, literacy, poverty, and a dozen other concerns. There are more opportunities than any of us can possibly experience. All we have to do is show up. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Kenneth Watts, Executive Director of Social and Specialty Services, and I provide leadership for the Senior Companion Program, Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program, Domestic Abuse Solutions, and Financial Education and Coaching. I'd like to talk briefly just about 2 of those programs today and how your generous contributions allow us to serve and touch the lives of thousands and thousands of people each year. The Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program is a great free resource for individuals and families throughout our community. Since 2010, we have prepared and filed over 30,000 tax returns for free, saving individuals and families hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in out-of-pocket tax preparation and filing fees each year. These individuals get to use that money to provide much needed resources for themselves and their families. And in a time where folks are struggling more and more financially, it is just an immense service to be able to provide. Each year, the thousands of tax returns that we file are done by the hands of many volunteers. That's the other great impact that this program provides through your contributions, are the opportunities that individuals have to volunteer with this service. One of the great sources of our volunteers for this program have been our local colleges and universities. Students pursuing degrees in accounting and finance and other management-related skills have served alongside of us in this program to provide this free service to the community. Those students gain experience and student internship credits, which allow them to complete their degrees, go on for more advanced certifications and licenses, and become successful contributors to our local business community. The other program I want to briefly mention is our Domestic Abuse Solutions program, where each year many men and some women go through a 26-week program, creating a process of change for themselves so that they can learn how to live nonviolently. The measure of a successful batterer's intervention program is a recidivism rate of less than 5%. That means that within 6 months of completing the program, an individual will not reoffend or act out violently towards their intimate partner or children. In 2019, SpiriTrust Lutheran Domestic Abuse Solutions had less than 2% recidivism rate. The individuals who enroll in this program and complete it, their lives are changed, they're transformed. And one of the greater impacts is not only their life has changed, but their family's life has changed also. One participant recently shared with us that he came home and his teenage son, had opened up and told him that he had done something wrong. And they sat down at the table and they talked through that. Later that evening, this teenage son reapproached his father and said, "You really are changing. That program really is helping. Because without it, you would have just yelled at me." That young man now has the opportunity to grow up with an image and the observation and the experience of a healthy parent-child interaction. And so the benefit is not just to the participant, but also to their family members. On behalf of the thousands and thousands of lives that we touch with our life-enhancing services here at SpiriTrust Lutheran, I just want to say thank you again for your generous contribution to the Cornerstone Dinner. I really did miss this year not being able to be with you all and shaking your hands as you came in. Next year, I can't wait to be back with you. Thank you again.